Have you ever heard of the Soviet Slenderman? During the Cold War, a terrifying story spread like wildfire across Eastern Europe. It wasn't about a monster in the woods or a ghost in a house. It was about a car. A sleek, black Volga limousine, silently cruising the streets after dark. This is the story of the Black Volga. Imagine it's the 1960s, a cold night in Poland or Russia. The streets are quiet, blanketed in snow. You see a car approaching, a black GAZ-21 Volga. It looks expensive, out of place. There are no license plates. The windows are covered with white curtains, hiding whatever is inside. The car slows down, its engine eerily quiet, almost silent. You feel a chill that has nothing to do with the weather. Every instinct tells you to run, to hide, because this is no ordinary car. According to the legend, the Black Volga was a phantom vehicle on a sinister mission. It was said to abduct people, especially children. Who was driving this terrifying machine? The stories varied, and each one was more frightening than the last. Some whispered it was driven by priests or nuns with evil intentions. Others claimed it was Satan himself behind the wheel. The car would pull up alongside an unsuspecting child playing on the street. The door would swing open, and the child would vanish without a trace. What happened to the children? The rumors were gruesome. The most common belief was that their blood was being harvested. For whom? Some said it was for wealthy Westerners or Arabs suffering from leukemia, who believed the blood of healthy children could cure them. Others claimed the blood was for the Soviet elite, a secret ingredient to extend their lives. The fear was palpable. Parents would warn their children, if you see the Black Volga, run home immediately. Don't look at it. Don't talk to anyone near it. The car itself was a harbinger of doom. It was said that anyone who got too close, anyone who dared to touch the car or even approach it, would meet a terrible fate. They would mysteriously die exactly 24 hours later. There was no explanation, no clear cause of death. Just a sudden, inexplicable end. The car was more than just a vehicle. It was a curse on wheels. It had distinctive features that made it instantly recognizable. Besides the white curtains and lack of plates, some versions of the story said it had white rims on its tires or other strange markings that set it apart. So, where did this story come from? Was there any truth to it? To understand the legend of the Black Volga, you have to understand the time it was born in. The Cold War was a period of intense paranoia, suspicion, and fear. In the Soviet Union and its satellite states, the secret police were a very real and terrifying presence. Organizations like the KGB in Russia or the UB in Poland were known for their brutal methods. They often used unmarked black cars, including Volgas, to snatch people off the streets. These people, political dissidents, or anyone deemed an enemy of the state, would often disappear, never to be seen again. The Volga itself was a symbol of power and authority. It was a luxury car, typically reserved for high-ranking Communist Party officials, secret police, and the elite. For the average person, seeing a Volga on the street was an intimidating sight. It represented a world of privilege and danger that was far removed from their everyday lives. So, the legend of the Black Volga likely grew out of this very real fear of the state and its secret police. The supernatural elements, the priests, the devil, the blood draining, were a way for people to process and personify a threat that was all too real, but could not be spoken about openly. It was easier to tell your children to fear a phantom car than to explain the complex and dangerous political reality they were living in. The story wasn't just confined to the Soviet Union and Poland. It spread throughout Eastern Europe, to Hungary, Belarus, Ukraine, and Mongolia. Each region added its own local flavor to the tale. In some versions, the driver had horns instead of hands. In others, the car could appear and disappear at will. The core of the story, however, remained the same. A mysterious black car, missing children, and a sense of absolute dread. It tapped into a universal fear, the fear of our children being taken from us, and the fear of a powerful, unseen force that operates outside the law. As the years went on and the Cold War ended, the legend of the Black Volga began to fade. The real-life Black Volgas of the secret police were replaced by new fears and new stories. But the tale never completely disappeared. It became a piece of folklore, a chilling reminder of a darker time. It's a ghost story born from real-world terror, a modern myth that reflects the anxieties of an entire generation. It shows how we use stories to cope with things we can't control, turning our deepest fears into monsters we can name. Today, the Black Volga serves as a fascinating example of a modern urban legend. It's a precursor to figures like Slenderman, a boogeyman created not from ancient folklore, but from the anxieties of the modern world. It's a story about a car, yes, but it's also about power, paranoia, and the loss of innocence. It's a chilling piece of history, whispered on street corners and in schoolyards, a phantom that once haunted the roads of Eastern Europe. So next time you see a vintage black car idling on a quiet street, maybe you'll think twice before getting too close. You never know who or what might be behind the wheel. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this dive into urban legends interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more strange stories from around the world. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of the Black Volga or any similar legends. Stay safe and see you next time.